Tunataka kushukuru nyinyi kupata nafasi ya kuwa nasi leo hapa. We have been having a meeting with leaders from Nairobi County. These are leaders who have served before as members of the County Assembly of Nairobi. Members who even served as, they used to be called the council, or the city, we were calling the city council. The councillors as councillors. But we also have members who aspired to become leaders of Nairobi in various capacities, mainly members of the County Assembly, but even some who may have aspired to be members of Parliament. And the purpose of the meeting was how we strengthen our party. What do we do to strengthen our party? What do we do to ensure that we get back the momentum that we had when we were running this country for 10 years? Where is it that we went wrong during the last election so that we can be able to rectify? Now, what are the programs that we want to have in place to ensure that we resonate with the challenges that Kenyans are having? Among the issues that were also discussed is the very high cost of living that has continued to be difficult, and which ODM, not ODM, hiki tunaitwa UDA, KK, which KK has completely refused to address. Instead of addressing it, wako juu ya magari wakifurahia raha zao na kwa choppers, and they think that Kenyans are enjoying the same. So that is an issue that continues to be part of our discussions, an issue that we will take to the doorsteps of UDA, and an issue that we will not allow Kenyans to remain alone. Even if we are not able to do anything because we don't have the government, we promise to be their voice against this KK regime. We have also talked about the e-citizen thing that is being introduced in schools, and amazingly, KK has decided to use school fees to now pay loans ya serikali at this time. Wanataka kuchukua school fees watumie kulipia zile madeni wanaokota kihorera dunia mzima. Tumegusia kidogo pia kuhusu mambo ya IBC. IBC ambayo haijaudwa, but we are aware that meetings are already being held. Discussions are at a very advanced stage on how they are going to work on the boundaries. They already know the constituencies that they want to create and the constituencies they want to scrap. They would then tell us that they had public participation. Kenyans, be prepared for a bombshell. You will find your constituency gone without you having been asked. They will create others without a criteria that is understood, or even a criteria that is in the constitution. The criteria that was to be used in creating new constituencies was provided for in the constitution, but we understand that they have now a new criteria that will give advantage to the areas KK thinks they will do better come the next generations. These are issues that we would want to address. Nairobi is the most populous county, and we would want to know how would they be compensated because of their numbers if they are not also going to get the constituencies that they deserve, which are in the tune of about 15 new constituencies. Kwa hivyo kwa hayo na mengine mengi tumekuwa pamoja na tutakuwa pamoja, and we'll continue working together so that these leaders' ambitions or desires are actualized in the coming days when we have opportunities available. I don't know whether there is anything else you want me to add, but it is important to note that tumefahamishwa na tunaelewa kwa sababu tumepigwa simu na wafuasi wetu kule Murang'a ya kwamba on the command of KK, the young men and women in that town have been arrested. And they were arrested because wao waliogopa ya kwamba wale ambao watawakuta pale watawakemea. Wewe ukiwa unajiita rais na ukienda popote kwa soko yoyote unaona Wakenya wakikukemea or even heckling one another in your presence, there is a message that you are not reading. Kenyans are fed up with your lies. Yes. Wherever you go, you symbolize lies. Those behind you are just a choir, a praise and worship choir, who are not helping you. Wakenya wanakujua sasa kama muongo. What I can also tell you is that you do not have enough time to rescue yourself. The die is cast. Tengeneza safari ya kwenda nyumbani. That is why we are meeting as leaders in Nairobi. We know Kenyans are looking for an alternative type of leadership. Lakini si ile ambayo kile wakisimama ni uongo. Shame on you.
Shame on you.
How on earth will you continue launching projects that were launched in 2017? Unafikiri wa Kenya ni wajinga kiasi gani?
Ukweli.
Si ni wale walikuwako kule tukiwa kwa mikutano ya kuzidua zile miradi. Na umewaita tena muzidue tena. We want you to run a list of the projects that you have initiated, financed and are under construction. Wachana na za wengine. Na kuachana sio kusema usinyime pesa. Ni uhakikishe umemaliza, but don't think that Kenyans will give you the glory for doing those things. Finally, is that we agreed in Azimio that we go and revamp our parties, because Azimio will be as strong as the strength of individual parties. That is what we are doing today. We will be doing it as Jubilee. We were doing it the last year, and we will continue doing in the coming days. I know that saa zingine naona maswali ya watu wakiuliza, fulani has said, Kalonzo has said he wants to be the presidential candidate. Joe has said he wants to be the presidential candidate. Mother has said he wants to be the presidential candidate. Wamarua has said he wants to be the presidential candidate. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. What is clear is that they want to be presidents of this country, kwa sababu wa Kenya pia wanatafuta kiongozi mwingine. So there is a meeting of mind. When you see many people expressing their desire to become presidents or the president of this republic, ni kwa sababu pia wa Kenya pia wanatafuta kiongozi mwingine. Mwenye watakubali ni yeye, it is again going to be their decision. We in Azimio, we will certainly at one point be able to come up with a presidential candidate for our flag. But we are saying this, we are not moving as an individual. We do not want this one-man guitar behavior ya Ruto. We want to move as a team. Na tumesema pia, tukiongea hapa kwa sababu hawa wote, kila mmoja wao tumeuliza, nani anaweza kutupatia siku yake ambayo Mwenyezi Mungu alimwambia atakufa, na hakuna mwenye wameongea na Mwenyezi Mungu akapata hiyo siku. It is only Ruto who talks with God. Inajua yeye lini atastaki sisi, Mungu alimwambia nini, mambo kama hayo ujinga. The fact that I have said I want to be the presidential candidate, or so and so has said he wants to be the presidential candidate, does not mean that that is the end of the game. Kwa sababu Mwenyezi Mungu anaweza akakuchukua. Akikuchukua, we will still have to have a presidential candidate. Yes. And Kenyans must prepare themselves always that way. None of us is immortal. Hata ninaweza kosa sauti, nilikuwa ninaongea ipotee, ikipotea itakuwa gumu mimi kujieleza kwamba nia yangu nimeachana naye ama lile lingine. So we are prepared for all these eventualities, and we will work with all of them. The bottom line is Ruto must go. I want to repeat it again. Ruto must go. That is the bottom line. And he is so weak that everybody actually now thinks that anaweza kamtoa. There we have to be cautious. We will have to ensure that we are organized. And that is why we are meeting here and others are meeting elsewhere. Ninajua nimejibu maswali yenu. To learn as to be a member of, let me put it differently, to declare yourself as a presidential candidate in this country is always a personal decision and at best a family decision. Kabla watu waseme na ukubali msemo wa watu, lazima wewe mwenyewe na familia mkubaliane. That's how it functions in a normal place. To take up the leadership at the AU for Raila Amolo Odinga, it is certainly a personal decision, a family decision. And questions on that same issue, I would rather they are directed to him. But as Azimio, we are approaching the leadership of this country as a team. So in the event that one of us finds himself unable to be part of the team continues. The game does not end there. But of course, we will always benefit from the experiences of those who have been there before. If he gets it, we will have to get to ensure that we have a momentum also in Azimio. The momentum that we have must continue. Remember, Raila has a machinery called ODM that is bigger than himself. Kwa hivyo, if the machinery ODM is still available to us, which we believe it is, we will still be moving far. Na pia useme, certainly Raila is a person I respect. I would love to have him leading Azimio for as long as he can. But my exiting from Jubilee allows this young lady to also offer leadership in the manner that she thinks she can. Kwa hivyo, huwezi kukaa na kuanza kulia saa yote ati kwa sababu hata mtu akifariki mnalia kwa muda mrefu muda kiasi mnaachana na hiyo maneno. So we are happy to have everybody on board. But if in the event that we need to continue differently, we will still continue because Ruto must go. Yeah. Thank you. Asante sana. Najua hayo ndio mlikuwa mnataka. You want this Jubilee? Mbele pamoja. Jubilee! Mbele pamoja. Jubilee! Mbele pamoja.
Sisi wana Jubilee tunasema Kenya Uhuru anasema ndio tunafanya. Uhuru akisema right, akisema left, na tuko tayari. Sasa nasema Nairobi imeamuka. This is MCA caucus Nairobi. Na Kenya mzima tuko ready kuingia kwa ground. Kwa hivyo waliosema Jubilee imekufa sasa aone hawa ndio waheshimiwa ambao wanataka viti Nairobi county. Na tuko tayari kusimamisha Jubilee. Jubilee mbele pamoja. Kitu cha kushangaza ni kwamba saa hizi ukienda ground ukiambia mtu wewe ulivote Ruto anasema hapana. Sasa Ruto anauzwa ground kama bangi. Watu wakijificha. It's a high time ajue Wakenya washajua kama yuko juu ya gari ako juu ya ndege anaenda. Si ni kweli? Tuko ready kuingia ground. Na 2027 Azimio Jubilee tuko.
Fanya mambo.
Hey Jubilee. Jubilee. You know my good friends in this country. If you appear to have a thinking brain, you are told two things. One, you are told that you're in Azimio. And two, you are told that you have never healed from the previous election. Yes, we are in Azimio because in Azimio there's a lot of brains. And we have no apology for being in a place where people who have brains are welcome and respected. Yes. But number two, we have not healed. Yes, we are sick. We have not healed from the idea that somebody can tell us, nyumba zitajengwa tupende tusipende. We are still sick from the idea that unaweza ambiwa ulipe school fees on e-citizen. We are still sick of the idea of being sick and tired because there is someone who, if they are not flying, they are lying. And that's why we are telling Kenyans as Jubilee, mahali tumefika sisi. We are very sick, we are very tired, and we are sick and tired of being sick and tired by an administration that keeps telling us that vitu zitafanywa kwa njia ya lazima, kwa kifua, mupende, musipende. This is 2024. Katiba ambayo tunatumia haina mambo kama mpende, musipende. There is more power in persuasion than in dictatorship. Kwa hivyo sisi tunaambia hii administration hivi. We know that when you're not flying, somehow you're lying. And when you're not lying, somehow you're flying. So we've come as Jubilee members to tell you this. That yes, we are still in fighting for positions of leadership to make a difference in this country. They mentioned about Raila Amolo Odinga and his possibility of going to become the president of the African Union. Niuliza wa Kenya hivi. When we see a Kenyan running, wearing the Kenyan t-shirt out there, do we start saying that he's from a certain region in this country? No. We all unite behind that athlete and say, if this is the only candidate we have as a country, we will stand behind that candidate. Yes. We cannot be supporting candidates from other nations and saying that we are dividing ourselves. We are going to look at Raila Amolo Odinga as a man wearing a Kenyan t-shirt in a race where he's fighting against other Africans. We cannot stand behind any other. We will stand behind our own. And if he be the only one, we shall say that we are Kenyans and there is one of us and he's the only one and we rally behind him. Asanteni.
Thank you so much. Finally, the chairman of Jubilee, Nairobi County.
Mr. Ndegwa, chairman Jubilee, Nairobi County. Hii timu ambaye tuko nayo hapa siku ya leo ni timu ambaye ni ya MCA caucus, the aspirants, ambaye tulikuwa na mkutano ya vile strategize vile ambavyo tutatengeneza chama katika Nairobi, na ili tuweze kuwa na chama ambayo iko na nguvu na pia aspirants waweze kujitengeneza huko kwa ground, ili come 2027 tuwe ya kwamba tutachukua viti zote zenye ziko katika Nairobi. Tuko na ajenda mzuri tukishikana pamoja na WSG Mheshimiwa Kioni kwamba Nairobi na Kenya mzima itafuata vile ambavyo sisi Nairobi tutakuwa tumejipanga, na ndiyo maana siku ya leo tuko hapa. Tunasema ni asanti kwa the media fraternity, kwa sababu tunajua ya kwamba mtaeneza yale mambo ambayo tutakuwa tunafanya Nairobi kama chama, ili hamutatulenga, kwa sababu sisi tunajua ya kwamba come 2027 sisi ndio tutakuwa chama yenye ambao ndio inaongoza katika serikali ya Kenya.
Members of other parties who are defecting to us. Kuna wale ambao, kuna mmoja wale ambao wametoka wapi, ako wapi? Huyu ametoka Kanu. Amekuja kutoka Kanu na tunasema karibu sana na tunavulisha yeye kofia, not because that he is only one. We have many ambao tunakaribisha. There is an exodus from UDA and we are receiving those who are in that exodus. Karibuni sana na asante sana. God bless you. Asante. Tutinari na ikuyu.
Nigera twale. Aya. Kama ina.